Good morning, good day and good evening everybody, and welcome to Scandinavia and the hobby room. I'm actually sitting in a new hobby room. I'll show you someday when I have the time to do the filming. Right now I just opened some mail and thought I would take you along for the ride if you need a little tip on equipping your Tamiya kits with cheap ball bearings. Now this is a disclaimer, these ball bearings are definitely not the same quality as, you know, semi-quality brands in Europe like Carson or anything else in the world, or they are definitely not the same quality as the Tamiya ones. But then again, we're talking about entry-level kits here, like the DT01, DT02, 03, DF02, TT02B, and so on. So yeah, I usually equip some of them at least with some cheaper ball bearings. Some of them actually got Tamiya ball bearings all the way around, but that's another story. So I purchased these on eBay, and why did I do that? Because I have a lot of kits or RC cars that use the 1150. These are some rubber sealed ball bearings, good for wheel axles and everything where the dirt, where you want to keep the dirt out. And these are metal sealed 1150 ball bearings, good for gearboxes and so on, where you do not want a lot of friction but there's not any dirt getting in. These will cause a little more friction, or so is the theory in a way, but good for keeping dirt out. So yeah, why am I showing you this? Because I wanted to take you for a little trip around some budgets for your Tamiya RC car, because I think a lot of people is actually paying a lot more than they have to for ball bearings for their kits. If you want some quality, go with some brands and some packages where you get all the necessary ball bearings for one kit, like the Grasshopper. You need 9 of these, and you actually need 850. Also get these in small packages. I don't use these very much, so maybe 1 or 2 per kit, so I purchase these in smaller packages like 10 or 20. I think there's 100 here and 25 of the 1280 and 100 of the rubber sealed ball bearings here. I'll put the specifications or measurements or the names of the different ball bearings, because Tamiya uses their own names, like the 1150, 1280 and 850, and these are just numbers randomly picked out from the measurements, but I think I'll have the measurements right here for you if you want to go search on eBay. Now, a disclaimer, you have to double check those measurements. But yeah, so I'll take you for a tour where I can definitely show you a couple of kits I can use these and how much money I actually save on these. And of course, if you only got one kit to equip, it's a lot cheaper to buy a small package with the specified ball bearings for that particular car. But if you're like me, you got a lot of entry-level Tamiya, cheap entry-level Tamiya kits, you definitely need a lot of these and you will run out of them eventually. So the idea is that I did some calculations. I use crowns and euros here in Denmark, but I did some calculations to US dollars, and these are actually the cheapest ones, and they cost about around 27 cents per ball bearing. These are a bit more expensive, the rubber sealed, though these are 37 cents per piece. The 1280s here, there's only 25, so the price goes up a little, and these are a bit more rare and a bit more uncommon, so one of the cheapest packages here I found is 46 cents per piece. So it's still gonna cost a couple of dollars equipping a car, but I'll show you some differences in the total cost of each car. So we got a Tamiya hopper here. Now it really doesn't matter if you got a Grasshopper or Hornet or Super Hornet, Grasshopper 2 or one of the DTO1s like the Mad Bull, Mad Fighter and Fighter Bogey RX, because all of them use the same amount of ball bearings and the same amount of sizes in ball bearings. So if you need to equip a Grasshopper or Hornet or DTO1, you would actually need 9 of the 1150 and you would need 1 of the A50. Now I did look up if I had to purchase this in a set from the place where I get my kits or new parts or motors, everything new. A Tamiya kit or Tamiya ball bearing kit would actually cost, if it's Tamiya, and just look at my calculations here, it's 14.22 US dollars, so around 14 US dollars to equip this car with ball bearings. And that's a pretty steep, because yeah, maybe it's a good idea to get some quality ball bearings if you're doing a expensive hop-up unit or you're racing or anything else with these. But yeah, if you use them once in a while like I do, and I got a lot of these hoppers, then you probably will be alright to get some standard cheap ones. I've never had some problems with these. These are probably more friction than the Tamiya ones or other semi-quality brands, but yeah, no problem so far with the durability, and they are definitely a lot better than these plastic bushings, as you can see here. This is a new project that I'm actually an old Super Hornet, so I think it's the last of my hoppers which needs to be upgraded to fully ball raced. Yeah, so around, I'm looking at my paper sheet here, 14 US dollars. Now there was on my site, on my dealer site, there was an option with some Carson ball bearings for 11 US dollars approximately. So 14 or 11 US dollars for a complete set. If I calculated the amount of money, what it's called, the amount per piece on these, still struggling with that English, it would actually cost around, I'm looking again, 2.68 US dollars. So compared to the Tamiya ones, I would definitely save 10 US dollars, or around 3 US dollars compared to 14 or 15 US dollars. Yeah, not the same quality, but I've had no issue with these, and anything is actually a great upgrade compared to these plastic bushings. Now this is a DTO3 that use the same amount of ball bearings like the DTO2, and that means 14 of the 1150 ball bearings. To go with the cheaper ones here, if I had to purchase these on my dealer site, 14 1150 ball bearings, a Tamiya set would cost me around 20 21 US dollars. A cheaper set by Carson would cost me around 14 US dollars. And yeah, if I equip them with these cheaper ones, or even maybe used a couple of these for the wheel axles, it would actually amount to around 3 or 4 US dollars. 3.75 if I use these. So again, compared to the Tamiya ones, I am actually saving like 18 or 17 dollars per kit here. Again, if you want to go extreme with these, get some cool Tamiya ones. They will probably cause less friction than these, but again, I have run several DTO2s or DTO3s with brushless motor. This is an XSA, which I recently equipped with ball bearings. But I do have other DTO2s and O3s with some more powerful motors, and some of them even got these cheap ones and no problems at all. So the ball bearings won't really affect your top speed. It will if it's really a lot of friction in these. It will probably cost you a little wear and tear on these, and some wear and tear on your battery and some other, but yeah, they spin fine, and they're definitely, again, a lot better than the plastic bushings that this one came with from the beginning. So yeah, 4 US dollars approximately, compared to 13 or for a Carson set or 21 for a Tamiya set. That saves you a little buck. These are kits around 100 US dollars or a little more, so yeah, better go with these for these entry-level kits. One more example, this time for a kit like the TTO2B. Here you would use the 12, I think, 1150 ball bearings, and then 4 for the gearboxes or the differentials, drive cups and so on. So 4 of these and 12 of these, and if I purchased at my local dealer for a Tamiya set, it would actually amount to 28 or more, or 30 US dollars, looking at my calculations again. A cheaper brand like, I think it's called Rod Dog, it would be around 19 US dollars for 12 of these and 4 of these. Now per piece, this would actually only cost me 5 US dollars compared to the 30 US dollars with the Tamiya ones. And again, this is a Plasma Edge 2 TTO2B. It's the same as the DFO2 or TTO1, the amount of ball bearings and the sizes. And yeah, if you want to save $25 on a set of ball bearings, that could be a good idea. So that was the tip for me for today. I'll start equipping some of my entry-level Tamiya ones with these ones. One bonus as why I'm getting these is of course also if I need to replace some, the cost per piece here would be a lot cheaper. So if I was foolish enough to run my Tamiya kits or RC cars in water, and these got sealed off, instead of spending hours and taking these apart and cleaning them, maybe I will just spend 27 cents and put a new ball bearing in. That would really be another story if it was a ball bearing for $2 each or something, if it was Tamiya. Use it if you want, but yeah, I think it only applies to if you plan on building a lot of kits and you have a lot of different Tamiya kits, there are a lot of other sizes and shapes for these ball bearings for the Tamiya kits. 1150 is one that is very commonly used, the 850 also, and for the DF02, TT02B and TT01 and some others. The TT02 also use these. They use a couple of sets of some other than what is displayed here, but that's another story. WT01, WR02 only use, like the DT02 and 03, only use the 1150 ball bearings. So yeah, check your cars and see if there's any size of ball bearings that a lot of them are using. Then you can spend some dollars getting these shipped in packages. That's 100 here and 100 here, and I think that's 30 or something here. But it saves a lot of money if you're like me, having a lot of entry-level cars and a cheap collection with a lot of cars. And yeah, if you want to build some Avantis or Egress or some other expensive one, I would definitely also go with the more expensive ball bearings. But for the entry levels, I think these will suffice. That's it for today. Sorry for the long video, but hope one or two of you got a good tip for these ball bearings. That's how I do it anyway with the entry-level kits. Take care everybody, and I will see you sometime soon. Happy holidays and keep them running.